Guys, so welcome to the library activity in place of our class the last day of this week. You'll want to go ahead and go into Blackboard and go ahead and download your actual assignment. It'll come up in Word. Mine's actually already there. You'll want to enable editing, and that'll allow you to go ahead and fill things in. As you'll notice, you'll fill stuff in. They're going to connect to different parts of your book. Part 1 doesn't specifically, but Part 2, Part 3, and Part 1, 2, and 3 do, and they actually relate to certain library activities. So for Part 1, I want you guys, of course, to go ahead and tell us what your topic is. I also want you to go through the process we talked about in finding a topic through a different source. So we're going to head to the library to do that. Go to lib.utsa.edu. Now that I'm here at UTSA, I can go into the databases. And of course, as I mentioned, CQ Researcher was one of our options. The other was Points of View. So we'll go ahead and look at Points of View since we've never looked at it before. It's going to be down this way. And we'll go ahead and we'll head into Points of View. And from here, we're going to go ahead and just kind of look for topics. So we have Browse by Category. We want to go into, in our case, most of you will go into Health and Medicine. And we're going to choose a topic and read up on it. Now I've chosen a topic a little bit different from what you guys are doing. I'm doing just a general health topic. I've chose vaccine and health hazards, so obviously what I'm looking for are the effects of vaccines, definitely on our topic. Now here I've got an overview article. I can also get other related articles, including a points of view, a back and forth discussion, magazine and newspaper articles, books, radio and TV news scripts, primary source documents, and academic journals. If I go into any of these, it'll give me more information that I can possibly work from. So go ahead and use one of these two and find a topic. If you already have a topic, just look for something new just to try this out. And if you don't, go ahead and do this so that you actually can find your topic. And then we'll meet back at the library website. So now that we've actually completed Part 1 and we have our topic, now we're ready to do our research. Now, if you look back at the activity specifically, you're going to notice that Part 2 is really about our keywords. Now this is the activity number 3. It's on page 70. So the first question does ask you to write a topic sentence, or of course, as I mentioned here, write a question that you want to answer with your paper or a goal you wish to achieve. So go ahead and put that down instead for number 1. Number 2 is going to ask you to think about possible keywords for your topic. So you'll want to think about a few of them. And then number 3 is going to ask you to do synonyms for them. Finally, number 4 is going to ask you to think about the and or process. With the and or process, this is going to help us make better searches. So I'm going to go ahead and take a quick pause. I'm going to go ahead and fill everything in for our sample. I recommend that you go ahead and fill yours in while you're waiting, after the pause. By now you should have completed 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you can see, I have my answers here. And so if we look closely, number 1, I have my question: what are the adverse health effects of the measles vaccine? So my basic first keywords, if you notice, are going to come straight from my question. It's a very good place to start. Measles vaccine adverse health effects. Now we do need synonyms because sometimes those aren't going to work. So for measles, I have MMR. That is the specific name of the vaccine. Vaccine, the closest term for that is immunization. Adverse would be negative, and effects, another word for that is outcomes. I specifically couldn't figure out one for health, but that should be good enough. As you notice, I've gone down into the table, and everything that's highlighted were the words I chose to put in. So measles, vaccine, and effects are the first ones I chose. For the next line, to get some ands, I have adverse and health. And then I have MMR, measles or MMR, vaccine or immunization effects or outcomes. So now I've got this completed, and with those keywords and those options, I'm now ready to go ahead and jump in and do my research. So go ahead and move to Library Activity 4 on page 75 and pull up the main page to the library's website. Welcome back. We have now done Part 1 of getting our topic, Part 2 getting some keywords. Now we're going to start looking for sources. And we're going to start with the databases in Activity 4. Now the first search we're actually going to do through the Library Quick Search, which you should be able to see very clearly in the center of the screen. And you're going to go ahead and put your keywords. So I'm going to put in measles and vaccines and health and effects and see what happens. So I'm going to hit search. Oops, that's not going to work. And I'm going to see what comes up. So on number 1 on activity 4, the first thing you're going to have to tell us is how many results you got. As you see, I have 47,000 results. And then I want to go through the list and I want to go ahead and find a couple of possible sources that would actually be useful for my paper. Now, as I'm going through them, sometimes we might get lucky, and what will happen is on the right side, you'll get an abstract, and you can just go ahead and read through the abstract to see if that is a source you want. In addition, if it says journal article available online, if you click this, it will actually take you to the database where you can find it. Unfortunately, sometimes you're not going to get that lucky. And it looks like for the moment I actually am that lucky. If it's an ebook, it'll be ebook online if we have it. But sometimes it'll say link to article. That means we don't actually have it currently in our databases, so you're going to have to go hunt it down. But of course, look, I'm extremely lucky. Boy, pretty much everything on my first page are in our databases. So what you'll want to do is go ahead and choose 2 that you think would actually be usable and put down the author's names and the titles in part 4. Now looking at my results, I've got several options on approaches, and so I might want to actually go through my articles and see which approach I want to do with effects. So I may want to go ahead and look for basic concepts like effects on mortality, so kind of actually looking for how it affects our overall health and ability to maybe possibly die. And I could look for articles related to that. I could also go and look into the effects of the actual vaccine on us, kind of just more focusing not just on the side effects, but actually on how it works and what it does in our bodies. So I've got a lot of options. I would go ahead and choose 2 that are related and go ahead and put them in for 1B. Once we have this, we're going to move over to the main databases. So go ahead and put your material down. Meet me back at the library main page so we can do the second part of activity 4. Now with activity 4, the first part complete, now we're actually going to go ahead and go into the databases very specifically. Most of the time this is what you're going to do because you're going to have much smaller results, as you're going to quickly find out, and you can get a lot more focused. Now our assignment asks us to either click in the A or the P and look for either Academic Search Complete or ProQuest. Now in class we actually did look at Academic Search Complete, so I'm going to skip that one this time, and I'm going to go into P to go ahead and get ProQuest. So I know specifically it's going to be down towards the bottom, so I'm going to scroll down really quickly. And what I want is just plain old ProQuest. I'm going to click in, and now I'm going to go ahead and use my keywords. Some of them have already popped up, see? To go ahead and see what I can find. So I'm going to change this to measles and vaccine, and I'm going to change this to health. And I'm going to add one more row to put in. Why did it go over there? I don't want it to go over there. I'm going to go ahead and put in effects. So you'll need to go ahead and put in your keywords, see what your first set does for you. So I've got my 4 keywords. I'm going to go ahead and run this, and I have 20,000 results. At least it's half of what the last one was. Now the assignment does suggest that if you got more than 100, which I did, you may want to go ahead and add more material to your search. So I can just go up here, put in and I'm going to put adverse and see what happens, because we left that one out. Okay, it got down to 7,000. See, every time we work through, it's going to get lower and lower. So go ahead and we'd put that number in. So my new number is 7,571, which is only a 1/6 of the original search on the quick search library. And like with the quick search library, I'm going to go ahead and find 2 articles that actually would fit my topic, preferably 2 articles I did not already pull down from the quick search. We're going to write in their authors' names and the titles. So we'll go through here, we'll find a couple, and we'll complete that task. So hopefully you're working through your possible options. If you're finding out you're not finding a lot, you go ahead, and that's what those synonyms and other aspects are for. I actually went ahead and did that because my search was not working pretty well. So I just put MMR and health effect. I did put health in quotation marks, so it will look for that word. But I did truncate effects so I can get effect or effects, and that's what happened. Coming through here, there got a lot more options. It didn't take me very long to find one that would obviously be could be a really useful one. As well as a number of others. And so sometimes you're just going to have to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying before you find out what you want. So go ahead and complete part number 3. And then after that, go ahead and do numbers 4 and 5. 4 is going to ask you, did you prefer using the quick search or the direct library database? And explain why. And number 5 is, which one of the two do you think had the better articles for you? So you want to compare 1B to number 3 and see which are the best articles and put that down. So go ahead and complete 4 and 5, and then we'll kind of head back to the main library page to do the last activity, library activity 5 on page 80. So we're almost done now that we're on library activity 5 on page 80. Now this activity is going to ask you to use the quick search. I don't want you to use the quick search. I actually want you to go ahead straight go into the print catalog instead. So we're going to go ahead in there and we're going to go ahead and use our keywords we already have. So I'm going to go into the advanced keywords and I'm going to put in some options here. So I'm going to put in measles. We're also going to put in or, MMR, and we're going to go ahead and put in health effects and see what happens. So we'll go ahead and do that, and this of course is the first part, and number 1 is going to ask you how many results did you get. You know, it's only 117. Phew! That's getting so much better. So the first, number 2, is going to ask you to find a print book and get the following informations for A through G. So to find it as a print book, it will actually say that when it's available in our stacks. And I'm having a real issue not finding. There we go. So this one is going to be it's actually available on the 3rd floor, so it means it's here on the campus. So I click into here, I should be able to find out all my information. Oops. So that's going to include the title, so B, the author's name, A, place of publication, C, D, publication date, C, place of publication and the publisher, D, publication date, as you can see is listed under publisher. The location, well, we knew that on the front page from here. We can just go down, scroll down, and it's in the JPL 3rd floor. The call number is where you'll find it. This will help you actually find it in the stacks. And it will tell you your status. And of course, this one's available, so we can go and get it. So what you're going to want to do next for number 3 is a table of contents for your book available. Ours is sort of available. We do have some sort of table of contents, so yes. And we also want to give 2 subjects listed for your book. And this is the subjects right here. What's really great about the subjects is this is actually going to take you to other areas, where you wouldn't have thought to look, that might actually have books that you want to use. So you want to go ahead and follow through. It asks you to go ahead and at least find 2 that might work, and then of course click on the subject heading to find where it leads you. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you're going to follow along. So I found one. I'm going to follow this link. It's going to go ahead and take me to the holdings, and there it is. And it happens to be the exact same book. So sometimes you're going to go in circles, but sometimes you're not. I wonder if I went ahead and just did the first subject, I might actually get to where I wanted. So this is going to go ahead and help me. Yeah, still same book. So sometimes that's going to happen, but sometimes it'll be useful. So you want to go ahead and choose your subject headings, click on it, and see if it's actually relevant. Then go ahead and for your item, you're going to click on the call number here for number 6, and that's going to give you information on where to find it. Now, the last step is going to be ebooks. So meet me back at the main page. Actually, meet me back at the print catalog search. So now that we're back at our search, we want to go ahead and look for an ebook. I've got a lot of options here. I'm just going to go ahead and use the family book. Here I'm going to choose an ebook, and I need to get the author, title, place of publication, publication date, all right here, folks. It says, does your ebook provide any special features? Go ahead and look through it to see if it does. Can it be downloaded or printed? You'll actually have to go into it to see. And can you enter notes? So you're going to go in, you're going to go ahead and choose an ebook, go in, play with it a bit, answer the last several questions, and then you're done. Hopefully that I've actually gotten you some sources to use on your paper. If not, go back through the process, find some more sources, and make sure to get them ready for your annotated bibliography.